Hey, it's Tim from AK Endless Sports Cards. Well, the Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2024 was just announced. So a couple of just things of note real quick on that. I noticed that Vince Carter was in this class, had over 25,000 points, 10-time All-Star, was super famous for a time. You know, I think those All-Star games that he made were consecutive, slam dunk contests, all that kind of stuff. Super popular player, great career at North Carolina while he was there also. I thought that he was noteworthy on that list. One player that I was really I just don't understand. I guess the Hall of Fame standards had just gotten lower and lower over time. Chauncey Billups. If you disagree with me and you think that Billups deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, look at the numbers, look at the stats. Was a one-time NBA champion, 15,000 points, 5-time All-Star. I just sometimes feel like the Basketball Hall of Fame has become the hall of like very good. It's not really great. It's not really measuring greatness anymore. I'm a Bulls fan, so of course I'm a little biased on that. Ben Wallace making the Hall of Fame in the past just was the topper for me. Look at the numbers, look at the stats. I just don't think that a few Defensive Player of the Years gets you in the Hall of Fame. Now in basketball, your college experience and things like that help as well. Neither Billups or Ben Wallace really had any notable achievements in college. So I don't understand it. In my opinion, it's become the Hall of Very Good. I'm really just kind of shocked that Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups are in the Hall of Fame, but that's just my opinion. So Ohtani is back in the news. Again, not for a great reason. I really want to continue to root for Ohtani, but the latest thing was he hit his first home run as a Dodger, and the couple that was involved in catching the ball claimed that they were kind of like separated, and they accepted what they had deemed to be like a lowball offer of some signed items in exchange for the ball. And it was estimated that the ball could be worth like $100,000. But I guess the Dodgers have called them back and are trying to make that right. I'm not sure exactly what that means, if they're going to, get some additional things signed, get to meet some players, whatever the case may be. But I would just like for Ohtani to just get on a nice hitting streak, and hopefully the gambling thing gets resolved, and hopefully he wasn't directly involved in that, but we'll wait and see. But just seeing him in the news for the wrong reason again this week, I'm just like, oh man. And I don't have like a huge portion of my collection into Ohtani, but he was the only baseball guy that I was really planning to collect. And me personally, I've just kind of put that on hold. I'm hanging on to my Ohtani stuff because I still really like him, but it gets harder and harder by the day with all these things, all these issues that have been coming up. So we'll see what happens there. NFL draft is coming up end of the month here, and so I had said before that Barry Sanders and Mahomes are the only two guys that I'm looking to collect in football. I was watching SCV's channel, and I saw that he had been buying like a lot of like even like unlicensed stuff of some of the top prospects, whether they be last year or going into this year. Caleb Williams, I know, is a big one he buys. And that kind of got me interested, so I started doing some research. If you're familiar with a 1990s set, Precious Metal Gems, or PMGs, super popular set that came out in the 1990s in both football and basketball. The 1990s versions actually are worth a lot, depending on the player. Can be hundreds, can be thousands, can be tens of thousands, just depending on the player and the specific card. 6 figures, I think, even. But anyways, they're super valuable. Well, in 2012, 2013, they put out these PMGs again. And then now again, recently, they've been putting them out over the last few years. And so I actually ran into some Caleb Williams Precious Metal Gems. And so I actually picked a couple up. One of them I'm going to show you here during this video. I was really surprised that pop numbers are really low on those, and the prices aren't very high. So I was really kind of shocked I put in what I thought was a relatively low bid, and I actually won the card. And so I'm going to show you that one here tonight. Also, I might be one of the few, although the prices are fairly strong. I really like the Prism Monopoly product. I think I'd mentioned in a previous video, I cracked like 13 blasters. I didn't get anything big. I got 3 Wemby rookie cards, and I got some other nice numbered stuff of other players, but nothing big of any other rookie or the big stars. And but I really enjoyed that product, and I love the fact that it's just a retail. You know, if you can find them out in the wild at 30 bucks, you know, the ceiling on those blasters just have great potential. Really love the product. I did some digging into numbers, and at the time of recording here, it's April 6th, the base pop count of Prism Monopoly Wembanyamas is at about 1250, so 1,250, whereas the base Prism's at 3,300. So it's a pretty big difference. Already the base Prism's had 2,000 more cards graded. I really like this Monopoly stuff though. Going forward too, I was looking at the pop reports of the parallels of Wembanyama from Monopoly, and boy, there's a lot that are in the single digits and in the very, very low double digits. Those parallels are really tough cards. And so I actually picked up a very low pop parallel that I'm going to show you today that's actually a color match as well. I'm kind of pumped about these. It's not something that I'm really like buying a lot of to try to flip. I just like the parallels, and I love the fact that there's far fewer of them, at least at this time. I don't know how much of that stuff that they had produced. I know it's gotten, at least where I'm at, it's gotten tough to find already. And I'm just kind of curious to see what those pop numbers are going to settle at. But again, I picked up what I believe to be a pretty big one, and I'm going to share that with you tonight as well. So with that said, let's take a look at these 2 pickups. All right, let's take a look at those couple of pickups. If you notice, there's no more Christmas lights reflecting off the table. Finally broke down and took the tree down. This was a personal record. I made it into April this year before taking down the Christmas tree. I think that's the latest I've ever made it. I had it up for about 6 months. Put it up in October and took it down the beginning of April. So made it as long as I could. Now with that said, let's start with the Caleb Williams. So I picked up a 2022 Metal Universe Caleb Williams Precious Metal Gems Pink. Really, really a cool card here. It's a near mint 8. If you know the history behind these precious metal gems, they are very, very, very condition sensitive. There's a lot of like white on corners and edges and things like that. So an 8 is typically a pretty decent grade for these. This is a pop 4 at the time of recording. I was kind of shocked that the population was that low. It's got a really nice shine to it. These are numbered to 75 on the back. Now, traditionally, these PMGs have come in green, numbered to 10, blue numbered to 50, and red numbered to 100. So this pink color is relatively new as far as I know. Again, this is a pop 4. I paid $71 delivered for this. And I'll be honest, I think by the end of the month, when we start talking about the draft, if he's taking number 1 as expected, I think this card is worth a lot more than $71. That's just my opinion. We'll wait and see. I'm not sure if I'll even hang on to this card, to be honest with you. I just think the $71 was ridiculously cheap, given that grading costs 20 bucks, given that it's a pop 4, given that that guy is probably going to be the number 1 overall pick in the football draft. So I will definitely be watching that. And yeah, I may not hold on to that card. We'll wait and see. The second card is a 2023 Prism Monopoly, Victor Wembanyama. Monopoly Man, black and white. This is a really, really nice card. It's a color match with the white and black running man, or Monopoly Man, I should say, that's running along the borders. This is a PSA 9. This also has a very low pop. The population on this at time of recording is a pop 13. That's all grades. This is a very, very tough, very tough one to find. I was super pumped about this. Love the fact that it's a color match. This is one that I am definitely looking to hang on to. Really, really cool card. It's not numbered on the back, but given that it is a pop 13, I'll be very curious to see where that number settles, because you don't see a lot of these on eBay. This is not a cheap card. One actually ended this evening, a PSA 9. I think it went for like right around $540 delivered. Definitely not a cheap card. Again, not numbered, but this is a really, really nice card. So this is a PC card. Really pumped to pick this up. I don't know. I'm big on Prism Monopoly. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'll collect a lot of these types of parallels of Wembanyama just for my personal collection. But this one stood out to me. I like the Gold Shimmer also. The Gold Shimmer is numbered to 500. That's also a card that I'm looking for. I don't want, it's another case of I don't really want to pay the price right now. It's anywhere from, 5 to 800, somewhere in that range for a 9. I'm not going to pay the 10 tax. I might wait a little bit longer to see if those come down, but they might not. With the Bowman First rookie, or the Bowman First, I guess you'd call it a rookie. I know we can argue about semantics, but with the Bowman First card, I waited a year thinking that, oh yeah, they're gonna go down, and they really didn't. He's a great player. I watch Sports Card Radio, and I definitely agree with him on Wembanyama that he's just an incredible player. In my opinion, I think the only thing that's really going to potentially get in his way is health. But he's been healthy this year, so hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully he'll have a long, successful NBA career. I think the Spurs will put people around him. But we'll wait and see. With that said, also, with as much as I agreed with Sports Card Radio and Wembanyama and his future potential, I really didn't agree with their take. They really don't like Luka Doncic. I couldn't disagree more because I think he's a generational talent as well. And they're 17 games over 500 last I saw. So Dallas is having a pretty good year. So I'd like to see Luka maybe make it to the NBA Finals, maybe win a title over the next few years. And then maybe some sentiment will change in regards to his status in the NBA and his future. That's it for today. If you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that would be great. And remember that the opportunities for collecting sports cards are endless.